All right. Welcome to StockMarketFunding.com, home to traders, investors, and people in general. What we're going to talk about today is the trend cycle of the Dow. And everything in the market, whether it's an equity, an index, an ETF, a bear fund, a bull fund, doesn't matter what it is. Everything has a trend cycle. And what you're going to learn here today, and this is our Saturday morning training session, is that we're going to cover where we're at. And we had a 1, 2, 3, 4. We put a top over here that I called, and we put a bottom over here where I said that we would have a relief trend. Today's date is 2/19. Or 2/20, I'm sorry. And yesterday, options expiration was 2/19. And basically, 2 weeks ago, go back 2 weeks ago, we called the top. We also said that we would have a short-term bottom in the market. And why did we say it would be short-term? Because that's what it is. And we are not going to call a bull trend, because if I was to tell you that we were in a bull trend, I would be lying to you, because we're not in a bull trend again. But what would a bull trend look like? So we can talk about what it would look like. We can talk about what it would have to do. And we can talk about some of these weekly indicators, as the weekly chart's very important, because it's a 5-day movement of the buyer and the sellers. And basically, what we're going to tell you is that we went below the 10-week moving average, and the 10-week moving average is not going up. We cut below it, closed below it. That's what made the trend during this cycle bearish. Now, on the light volume move, they tried to put a bottom in the market, right around that 9,800 level that we had talked about when it was way over here. And we talked about the 9,800 level because we have the videotapes and the live analysis to prove and back up our work. So basically, as I said, that every trend has a relief trend on the way up. And until I can close 4 weeks above that blue line, the 10-week moving average, is that until that happens, I won't even tell you that we're in a bull trend until that happens. And what would that look like? Well, this last week, which the volume was lighter, we have to close 4 weeks above here, and the blue line has to turn up. When that happens, then I can say that we are entering back into a bull trend. Until that does happen, there is no speculation, there is no bartering, there is no what if, there isn't anything until that happens. And what happens with people is that they'll sit here and speculate all day. We don't do that at StockMarketFunding.com. That is not the life of a pro trader. The life of a pro trader is to work with here and now, price, volume, action, weekly moving averages, and we went into a bear reversal, and now, as I said, the prior week, that if we got up above here and we could stay above that candle, and if we can have a closing price above here, that's this weekly bar, at 1,098, and if we don't slip back below it, but can consolidate above it, then it would say to me, based on the buyers and the sellers and the commitment in the market, is they're trying to make another run toward the top, which was up here. And we called the top. And if you don't believe me when you're watching the tape, go to StockMarketFunding.com, join our online trading community. There's a link there. And go back and take a look. All the videotapes, trading videotapes, live trades, they're all there. So whatever, if you are watching this tape and you want to speculate and think whatever you want in your mind, go for it. Have failure in your life, because that's exactly what you're going to get. If you want to work with the reality of the chart, then we can talk. And the blue line is a 10-week moving average, and it's descending in price. We got a closing bar above it, slightly. But you have to have 3 more weeks above that line. And not only that, during that consolidation period between the buyer and the seller going upward, that's what it will have to do. And until it's confirmed and proved for 4 weeks above that blue line, above the 10-week moving average, you don't need to speculate. Those are the raw facts of the Dow and the weekly chart. All that other crap, all that stuff that you like to do, throw it out. Forget about it. This is what it's about. This red line, on the other hand, is pointing upward, which is bullish for that reversal trend. So that's step 1. Step 2 is that we're above the 10-week. Step 3 for the upcoming week is that we have to maintain a closing price above the 10-week. The next step is that we need to see volume and price action increase to the upside. The next step is that we need to close above half of this weekly bar over here. That's resistance. Until we close above this bar right here, half of that bar, meaning that 10,400 on the Dow would have to be support, and it would have to consolidate above 10.4. That's what it has to do in order to take out the previous reversal tops. And until that day, it will remain in a trading range in a tight band. And basically, the market, the Dow, was extremely overbought going into the first part of the year with the weekly moving average divergences up at the highs, and remained overbought, and there needed to be a reversal and a correction as far as working with the weekly chart. And the weekly chart, or any chart, is going to be an interpretation of the parties involved and the overall volume and price in action within the Dow. It's only 30 stocks. So basically, that's where we're at on the Dow. And if you're watching this tape and you read more into what you want it to be, guess what? Here's my thought to you. You're wrong. You'll pay a price. And the thing about it is, in the SMF Pro Trading School, the 52-week school, is we don't sit here and make something out of something that's not there. That's what the retail investor does, and the retail trader does, and the retail public does. Okay? And my job is to point it out to you in a hardcore fact of the reality of what it is. And the thing about it is, in this training session with our students, is that until I'm above 10.4, half of that bar, and any not this upper trend line, right here. This is called half of the weekly Pro Trader bar. And it went right into there at resistance. Until I close above it for 4 weeks in a row, I'm not going to take out that high on the Dow. And that's the bottom line on the Dow. Get a grip. Work with the reality of what's here. We called that top. We called the bottom here, short-term bottom relief trend. Now the buyers and the sellers have to come in. And not only that, people, don't speculate with your hard-earned money. I just told you what it has to do. And that's the life of an SMF Pro Trader in this Pro Trading School. And these are the characteristics and the chart pattern and everything that it will have to do. Anything outside of that, throw it in the garbage can. That's your Dow free gift That's the interpretation. That's what I'm telling you it is.